All right, guys, so we're a couple days removed from the Hall of Fame game, and there are several players whose stock is going up and stock is going down. Now, we're going to start on a positive note. So the first guy I want to talk about is our number one overall pick, Trayvon Walker. He was an absolute beast this game. You can tell, like, when he was on the field, this guy was just different than anybody else out there on that defensive line. Of course, Josh Allen wasn't playing, so he really was like this standout guy out there. And, you know, he had one sack, he had one big pressure. He had two total pressures in the game, and he was chipped a bunch of times. But you know, both those times where he got to the quarterback, it just, he just manhandled the left tackle for the Raiders. And it was awesome seeing Trayvon Walker out there. Of course, there weren't a lot of real positives from this game. I don't know, like, of course, a bunch of players didn't play, and we may not have turned the game off at the end of it feeling super good about our Jaguars. But, you know, one of the important things is that, look, our number one overall pick not only looked like he belonged, but it also looked like he was the best player on the field when he was out there. So that was really cool to see. Now, trending down, I have the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks for the Jaguars between Jake Luton and Kyle Sloter were miserable to watch. I did not enjoy any bit of it. Both of them combined went 23 for 42, which is a 55% completion percentage. 214 yards, one touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Just overall, like, you know, they could hit the checkdowns, but they weren't hitting a lot. Just a lot of the more advanced throws. They were trying to throw to the sidelines, and they were constantly being, like, overthrown. And it just didn't give really some of our ball catchers really just opportunities to really showcase themselves. And that's what really stinks. I'm really hoping that, like, going forward, we're going to have, you know, once Trevor Lawrence leaves the game, no matter how long he plays, I'm really hoping C.J. Beathard can just drive the offense, because you saw a difference on the other side where, you know, Nick Mullins had several starts in the NFL and several years of experience. You know, even Jarrett Stidham, while he may not have played as much, he couldn't make the throws, and he's played with Josh McDaniels' offense over there in New England. So really just the QBs were disappointing, and they were kind of miserable to watch, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now, trending up, I have Arden Key. Arden Key was really exciting this game. I mean, 2 sacks on 7 total rushes, and he was out there, and I was like, who's this 49 guy? Because he was getting after it, and I was like, oh, it's Arden Key. And Arden Key doesn't have a huge role with the Jaguars. His role is, hey, look, you're going to come in there, you're going to be fresh on these pass rushing downs, and your job is to get some pressure on the quarterback. And not only did he get pressure, but he came away with sacks. So he was exciting. He just looks like he's a natural pass rusher. And it was cool to see Arden Key, a new free agent addition for the Jaguars. While he's only on a 1-year deal, it was cool seeing him come out there and get some pressure on the quarterback and kind of showcase himself a little bit for the first time on the Jaguars. Now, one guy that's trending down is linebacker Shaq Quarterman. Now, this one's unfortunate because, look, Devin Lloyd is out. Even Logan is out. So Shaq Quarterman got the start. And right now, Shaq Quarterman really has a lot of opportunity to be able to make this team. And if he does not make this team, he cannot say that the Jaguars did not give him a fair shot, because he is getting plenty of reps. He's getting a lot of reps with the ones. And, you know, this one's a little bit emotional because not only is he from Duval County, he's from Clay County. He's from Oakleaf High School, and I went to Fleming Island High School. So, you know, right across the street from me. However, you know, this game, he was showing himself not being able to do much in pass rush, and he also didn't do a lot in the run game. And, you know, a lot of times when you have a linebacker that's not fast, that's not very good in the, you know, passing game, usually he's a big thumper. He can knock some guys down, but he can't even really do that. So he is just trending down a little bit. And, you know, like I said, it's unfortunate, but hey, like, you know, Jaguars bring him in here, they give him a shot, and he's going to continue to have some opportunity. You know, he's going to be here until they trim the 90-man roster down. So this was not a very good game for our boy Shaq Quarterman from the University of Miami, but he'll still have his opportunity. Now, trending up is linebacker Chappelle Russell. He made the most of his opportunity, and he led the team with 8 tackles. He seemed to be all over the field. He seemed to be, you know, playing a lot more free, And Chappelle Russell, I think, like, look, he has an opportunity to also make this team, as that fourth or fifth linebacker, depending on how many guys you want to keep. So Chappelle Russell, I thought from a pure just attacking, playmaking standpoint, he showed a good game. Trending down is Devon Hamilton. Now, I'll say this. I didn't go back and rewatch the game, and I'm probably not going to rewatch the game. I just, I don't know. Do I really want to rewatch that? But I don't know. Devon Hamilton, he got out there. He got some opportunity to go out there and play some nose tackle in place of, in place of Fatukasi, who's out. But it seemed like, his gaps were just getting exploded through. I mean, he did not hold his own. He didn't really make much of an impact. It didn't really seem like he was out there. And, they were kind of eating up the inside run. So, Devon Hamilton, I would have liked to seen a little bit more noise out of him, but we didn't. But he is a roster lock. He's actually number 1 nose tackle on the depth chart, and he's showing a good, a good training camp also. But I don't know if he was just playing too high. I don't know what it was, but hopefully we see a little bit more out of Devon Hamilton, who the Jaguars spent, I think, a 3rd round pick on him not too long ago, back in 2020. So we're still kind of waiting to see, some kind of emergence out of him. Now, trending up, I have Makai Sargent. He seemed like the most productive guy with the ball in his hands. He had 5 receptions for 37 yards. That's 7.4 yards per reception. And he also had 5 rushes for 22 yards, which was 4.4 yards per carry. So in total, he had, 10 total touches for 59 yards. That's almost 10 yards per carry / reception. So he was out there. He was showing some good stuff, and I liked him. He showed some bursts. He showed just some natural football ability. So it was a treat to be able to watch, Sargent, who I really didn't know a lot about before this game. Now, trending down is the wide receivers. Now, the wide receivers were one of the most exciting things for me to kind of go into this game. Now, I'll say Willie Johnson probably had an okay game, but I just don't see any shot he makes the team. I was more looking for, okay, who are some rosterable guys that I want to see? Some guys was Lawan Winningham. He only had 1 reception. Jeff Cotton, 3 targets, 0 receptions. Kevin Austin Jr., who we've been hearing all about from Notre Dame, the undrafted rookie, 0 receptions on 1 target. So we didn't, between the guys that I wanted to see, I got 1 reception amongst them. I'm hoping, once we get maybe a more productive quarterback in there, just a little bit better quarterback play, I'm hoping, we get to see a little bit more out of those guys. But for now, it wasn't. For this game, I guess wide receivers are trending down for me. And now it seems like Laquan Treadwell is really locking in a roster spot. The only way one of these guys makes the team is if we keep a 7th wide receiver, or if the Jaguars try to do some Laviska Shenault, whether it be moving him or whatever. So that's my thoughts on someone trending down. Now we're going to end this on a positive note. A guy who we don't want to get a lot of playing time, but always winds up on the field, is punter Logan Cook. Logan Cook was booming the ball. 6 total punts, 297 yards. 3 of those punts landed inside the 20-yard line. We can complain about kickers all we want. And kickers, I'm kind of keeping, neutral this one, because Elliott Fry made a good kick. Santoso went out there and hit it and attempted a 60-yard kick. It had the leg, but it was, a miss. But you can't really hold a kicker against a 60-yard kick. I mean, that's a tough one to expect. But Logan Cook was out here wheeling and dealing out there on these punts. Like I said, I hope we don't see him too much. I mean, the ideal thing is that you never see him. We only know his name, but that's not, when you have 4 wins in 2 seasons, that's not generally how things go. So that was some guys that were trending up and down for me. Some players I left out were I left out Chad Mumma. I think his game was misinterpreted. I thought he played a little bit better than a lot of people probably give him credit for. He was kind of running around the field a bunch. I don't know. For me, I think his game is misinterpreted a little bit, but I guess we'll continue to watch him in a way. I didn't really watch many of the offensive linemen. I wasn't seeing a lot of pressure, and the only lineman I really care about is Fortner and Walker Little, because those guys are probably going to be starting for us. Luke Farrell actually had a pretty good game. So those are some guys that I kind of wanted to mention. But let me know what you guys think. If you guys think I missed anybody, definitely let me know. We can have a discussion down in the comments section. And thank you guys for locking it down on this channel. I'm trying to produce as much content as I can over the next few weeks leading up to the NFL season, trying to get you guys excited for football. We're almost here. It's going to be an awesome time. Hopefully you guys stick with me. With all that said, thanks for watching. Drop a like for me on your way out, and go Jags.
Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars, too much for your crew to handle. Keep it lit, and this is the #1 YouTube channel by UCF Jaguar. Yeah, we about to blast off. If you been a fan, then this is the dopest platform. Yeah, never hold back. Gotta represent for the teal and black.